Here are the 5 cons of the Google Pixel 5a 5G. These are 5 reasons why you shouldn't get the Pixel 5a 5G, or why it isn't such a good deal, such a good phone from the outside. Let's go ahead and take a look. So the first thing I'm gonna do is just go over the general specs in general real quickly. So it's a 5G phone, 450 bucks. It weighs 6.46 ounces. You got the aluminum frame, aluminum back, has an eSIM, does some water resistance, OLED display, 6.3 inches screen, 85% screen to body ratio, 1080p screen with 415 PPI, always on display. Launching with Android 11. It has the Snapdragon 765G processor. No internal storage upgrades. It stays at 128 gigs with 6 gigs of RAM. 2 cameras on the back, 12 megapixel main shooter, 16 megapixel ultra wide, 4K video, selfie with an 8 megapixel shooter, 1080p video, stereo speakers with a headphone jack, Bluetooth 5.0, NFC, USB Type-C for charging, rear-mounted fingerprint reader, 4,680 milliamp battery, and fast charging, wired charging at 18 watts, no wireless charging. So running through the specs, on the outside quickly, it does look kind of a good deal, but let's talk about the reality and 5 cons of the Pixel 5a 5G. And the first one is going to be the price. Now, $450 is not expensive when you compare it to flagships, but if you compare it to other phones with 5G and similar specs, you can find phones for as low as brand new of $240 with the OnePlus N200 5G. So the competition, there's a lot of stiff competition for a lot less, and you could even get free 5G phones like that N200 5G if you go on prepaid. So that was the first reason, is the price. Not too expensive, but compared to the competition, it has a lot of differences of $450 in price when you have free phones out there that offer similar type specs. Along with the price of being on prepaid for free on other devices, the Pixel 5a, the next thing that doesn't make it such a good phone, and one of the cons, is that it's not available on prepaid. No Pixel has ever been offered on prepaid. And for a phone at this price point of $450, it makes sense that this phone should be available on Metro or Cricket or Boost. And typically at this full price point, you should probably get this phone for $0 when you port in, or $50 when you port in, or maybe even $100 if you're pushing it. But that's been one of the biggest things, is availability. The phone is not available on prepaid here in the US. I think if it was available on prepaid, I think a lot of people would take advantage of it. There's over 100 million subscribers on prepaid in the prepaid market. Even iPhones are available on prepaid at all the price points and with heavy discounts. So if the Pixel is the iPhone of the Android world, why isn't it available like the iPhone and on prepaid? Next reason, not only is the Pixel 5a not on prepaid, it is only available in the US and Japan. So this isn't a world available phone. So what does that mean? That means that this one's not going to be popular. They're not going to sell large amounts of Pixel 5as. And that also means that the Pixel is, again, not going to be marketed. So not a lot of people are going to buy this phone. The backing of this phone is so weak. Google does not really market its products well like Samsung and Apple do. So what does that mean? That means that, there's no traction. The popularity of the Pixel is not that big. It's only to a select niche of customers. Only hardcore people that know about phones and are going to be wanting to get the Pixel 5a. That price point of $450 would be very, very nice to a lot of people and appealing to people, and then people in prepaid. But yeah, this is only available in the US and Japan. It ignores all other places in the world, and those are places where Apple is not a worldwide popular phone as it is in the US. There's a lot of, Android is still the majority is the platform on the majority of phones in the world. And outside of the US and Japan, you have a lot of places that are still Android centric. So that's a big con of the Pixel 5a. It's only available in the US and Japan. The next con of the Pixel 5a 5G is that is a hardware in the camera department. It is the same type of camera found in previous models. This is almost the exact same phone as the Pixel 4a 5G, but just $50 less expensive. But you're getting the exact same camera setup. Google's been using the same camera in their Pixel phones for like the last 4 models. You're not getting that much improvement in the camera department. So if you were to compare the cameras in the Pixel 3, 3A, 4A, 4A, 5G, 5, all these phones in the past, they're not going to be that much different than the Pixel 4A 5G. If you're getting this phone for the camera, you're better off just getting the other phones previously at a cheaper price. There's anything too excited in the camera department, and you can get those phones used for like less than $100. So having the same camera in a newly released phone, that's a con for the Pixel 5a. And the next con also for the Pixel 5a 5G is that it also has the same processor. So you're having an old processor in a new phone that's supposed to be nice and fresh, and processing power is going to be one of the top 2 things that matters in a smartphone, that gets people excited, because that's what's going to power the phone. That's what's going to give it its speed. It's going to be its freshness. And this processor is the same one found on the Pixel 5 and the Pixel 4a 5G. So how are you going to come out with a new camera when 2 previous phones that are pretty much the same have already launched, and now you could find them for a cheaper price? So it's kind of, using the same camera and the same processor. There's not a lot to make this phone be like, here, this is a brand new nice phone. The only things that really have made this phone good and new is that it offers 5G, but the previous 4a 5G had that already, and a bigger battery. It seems to me that the bigger battery is pretty much the only real reason you would want to get the Pixel 5a 5G. And since it's the most recent Pixel phone released, it's probably going to get the more recent updates. It's going to be in the life cycle for longer. But all in all, that's been my 5 top cons of the Pixel 5a, and those are the reasons why you might not be able, or you might not want to get it, and you might choose something else. Well, thanks guys for watching. I'll see you in the next one. I hope you subscribe and hit that notification bell. It helps out the channel a lot. I appreciate it. Peace out.